Hello everyone, I'm back. Welcome to another VOD review. I'm gonna be doing these more often now, as me and a couple of the other CN folk have been seeing videos lately that are kind of odd in the information they give. It's not specifically wrong, but it's specifically very beginner like. As in, it's not good info for beginners. It's info from a beginner. So I'm going to be VOD reviewing more often. I'll link Hoko's and Hair Air's channels here in the description, so please go and see them. They have great info. They have Coach Singularity players. Some of them are Singularity players. Yeah, let's get into this VOD review. We're VOD reviewing Unilive. I have VOD reviewed them before. They are Michelle Xingwei player. And obviously, I watched it already, but I do want to mention how Xingwei should be played. She should not be played like a pure support type of character. Playing Xingwei is like playing Ming, because here's the thing about Xingwei. Oh wait, I forgot that you guys don't call her Xingwei. She's called Celestia, but please understand, I'm calling her Xingwei because I'm from CN. I'm from the CN servers, so I'm calling her Xingwei. So just remember, Celestia is Xingwei, Xingwei is Celestia, but I'm calling her Xingwei, as well as the rest of the CN players. So this is good. Immediately, this is good. At least what Yuna is doing. What you want on defense is early info. Now, on every map, there is a certain place or a certain line that defenders can get to before they have to stop and just wait. But ideally, you want to get to a place that gives you the earliest amount of info the fastest. So on Space Lab, her team is stationed correctly, except for the Flavia, who's in their spawn, probably AFK. And the Nobu, by the way. And the Nobunaga is in a bad place as well. Because you want to be positioned here, you want to be positioned here, you want to be ideally positioned like right here if you wanted to. Because this spot sees this, and this sees this. So basically, the B window sees any of the jump ups towards B, and the A spot sees this entire long angle towards the A choke. You want to be here. Some people play here as well because it sees over here, probably like a fast sniper spot, anything like that. And ideally, whoever's playing here should just straight up go into the mid room. I'm going to say this right now. Mid is the most powerful place on this map. You want to take control of this area. Because if you take control of the mid room, you take control of the round. We'll talk about that later, but just keep that in mind. Scaling up A right now. No one's really... Okay, Michelle's kind of looking through. Nobunaga finally is up. Flavia is still playing way too far back. Now I understand that this isn't AFK. They think that playing this far back is good. That's not good. Fight for the chokes. Here's the thing about global players. Once again, global players don't fight for chokes enough. As in, they don't balls to the walls, literally fight hard and die for it. You must die for it sometimes. Sometimes you have to die for it, especially when you're with your team, ready to trade you out. Now here's another thing. Don't simply give up the mid room like this. You can play in a bunch of off angles on the ground. You can play here, you can play here. It's very hard for people who are on the window spot to just simply see you in these spots. Here, there's also an additional spot right here. There's like a little lip beside the window rather, that you can stand on. Scene players already know about this, so they cleared that angle, but usually you can play here, behind here, on top of here. You could probably play here. Not often do people play here for this because it's very easily smokable. If they have a Ricci, they can just slap a wall down. If they have a Meredith 1-3, they just smoke it and then just leave. They do a lot of stuff that can just straight up just not give a care about these parts. They can just smoke these off and go wherever they want. So what you need to do as a defender is take control of this. Make sure that you're known where your position is. Or if you're... Okay, yeah, rather, there's two ways to hold it. Make sure your position's known so that they will stall time for themselves. They'll realize that someone is mid, and they'll send someone to probably take care of you, which another player on your team can probably take care of them. Or someone can go mid and then just hold that line. Or what people mostly do is play in a rat spot, wait for them to go mid, and take their kills that way. Especially with Michelle, as Michelle can place this turret right here, or this turret right here. And if they decide to go mid, they'll get beamed by the turret, and you'll have a free kill, essentially, because they're likely going to be papering in through space room. And it's even more deadly beyond that, because once you're inside the space room, you cannot hear any audio. All audio is muffled. Therefore, some characters who are normally loud, like Flavia, like Michelle, like Fuchsia 1-3, they have a much easier time getting the jump on you. Because of the fact that they can just press Q, or they can just turret up. You won't realize where exactly the turret is, or where exactly the Flavia is, or where exactly the Fuchsia is, and they'll beam you down. Little tidbit about how the space room works. If you're outside the space room, you can hear what goes on inside of it. But when you're inside of the space room, then that's the only time where all audio is muffled. It is basically fully based on your position on this window here. Obviously, when you see like that little like weird door phase or whatever it is from going into mid is when your audio is muffled. That's besides the point. Just understand that mid is a very high point of contention for defense, because if you ever look at CN replays at all, and if you are ever stalled on offense, if you're stalled here, if you're stalled here, if you're stalled here, you will almost always see CN players push the hell up. They will fight for this. They will literally just go up and run you down. If they sense weakness in the water, that they'll take full advantage of it. And you see, everything's stalled out. Ideally, your team has wind nades. Just so you guys know, this map's biggest strength in terms of defense is the fact that defense has wind nades. We'll talk about the reason why very soon. But yeah, look at this. This is why you hold mid, because now you get the information that some people are going mid. Some people are going into mid room via mid. Instead of just knowing that there's like probably someone on top of the window, you can play in the rat spot. Additionally, you can just look over, see if someone's there. And now everyone's fully poised to take mid. Interceptor is already down, which is kind of cursed. That's a cursed interceptor. And they go mid without actually making use of the space. Here's the thing about attack on Space Lab. You'll usually see Ryuichi's scale up, go right here on its box, and if his team wants to go mid, you'll usually see a wall like this. Why? Because it stops assistance from mid, from defense side of mid. If you get the point. So realistically, all you need to do is deal with these guys and these people. You usually see that. Or you can see other walls like this wall. Actually, no, that's a really bad wall. You'll see like something like this. Some weird walls probably, but you get the point. Because of the fact that mid is such a high point of contention, you'll see walls specifically designed for it. All right, good job on you. Rotate, like understanding your current position. This is the best play. Just insta rotate over. Bang, right here. Stop right there. Why did you throw that nade? There is no reason to throw that nade because one, you didn't see them. Yes, sure, you know where they are, but you need to know their exact location. In fact, we'll see the actual fruit of someone's labor. Fuchsia threw a nade. She knew they were going in. Guess what happens? Massive fucking nade. 2 immediately down. Here's the thing about CN. They use their utility extremely well. Like they have it down to an art. Everyone on global who's watching this right now, do not use your util until you have surefire info that it's going to hit. Surefire info. If someone's stuck on a choke, if someone is currently pushing you, if someone is downed and someone's reviving them, make sure that you're in a space, or your nades are going to be guaranteed. Off of that nade alone, this round is won. And you go ahead and clean up all the stuff for it. I noticed a lot when I first looked at this VOD here too. Yuna likes to, when taking fights, Yuna likes to just walk at people. That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. And let me just tell you that. Walking at people and running and gunning at people like that, like what she did right there, not giving a care, is not bad. However, some people might get like used to it. Some people might like realize that you're doing this, and then you're becoming an easy shot. So make sure that you're changing up the way you move. Learn to move differently, basically. I'm literally learning to do that right now. I am a heavy jump player. I jump around a lot because I don't want to get hit by snipers. I don't want to get hit by DMRs. But against rifles, it's kind of throw. So against rifles, usually you want to be strafing around like a weirdo. And against DMRs and snipers, you jump around like an idiot. You look like an idiot, but it's not an idiot. Anyway, they got past this choke pretty quickly. Why? I didn't hear a single wind nade. I didn't hear a single wind nade on this at all. All right. Small optimization. You don't have to go for the wind tunnel. You don't have to. Just go straight through main. Because look how much time it takes for Yuna rather, to get through this wind tunnel. Rather than going through here. You're already actionable when you get over here. And additionally, you're not out in the open. You're not out in the open. And what's even stronger about this is that you're on a right-hand peak. So go normally. Go normally. Normal is better. It's not often when people go onto site, onto A, that they'll go back. It's not often you'll see that, especially in ranked. The only time you'll ever see that at all is probably in competitive and high elo ranked. But you won't see it here. So 3v3 situation, what do you do here? Nade. That's a good nade. That's fine. But still, again, I'm not too sure if they were scanned at all. Yeah, this is round 2 after all, so it's not very likely that they're not scanned. But make sure you have certified info, especially because it got intercepted. And especially in situations like this when a fight is imminent. Sure, yeah. Throwing that was... I would agree with throwing this, by the way. Throwing that is completely fine. But if you can, hold your nade for as long as you can. Until, like, you see the perfect time to use it, basically. Think of it like... Not specifically... I don't know what to refer to. I'm a League player, so I'm thinking, like, use it, like... liberally, rather. Use it liberally but sparingly at the same time. Actually, it's leaning more towards sparingly. Use it sparingly. Okay, your team was able to kill the Ming. Yuna's team was able to kill the Ming based off of the info that was given. And there we go. Round 1 again. Next round. This is fine. I would actually like it more if the Shingu played specifically mid or specifically at A little bit, but this is fine regardless. Everyone, public service announcement on Space Lab: bring wind nades. Bring them. Bring like 3 to 4 wind nades, unironically. This is fine, by the way. This is fine that you're holding this space, but because your team is not holding this, it's more adamant. It's more important for you to hold this mid space because they're not holding it well. They're not holding this well. So it's better for you to just stay in the mid room and hold it there. Also, BIMO players, do not hold mid room. Do not hold mid room most of the time. You can hold mid room because it is deafened in there, and you have a shoddy, which is completely fine. You can use it as a alert play, but most of the time you'll be playing B or A at the chokes, and just dealing with hard pushes. That's how BIMO plays this map. That's why Hoko and Nera are not adamant of a Bimo being played on this map, because it has pretty big weaknesses. Now here. Why did you go here? You saw the fight is now mid. I don't know if you saw everyone mid because I do not have your exact POV. But from a spectator standpoint, you just go mid. You just go mid because you were on an angle that can basically get you a free kill. And because of that, they get to be for free. Make sure you tax it. Make sure you tax them as much as you can. All right, let's talk about Retake on Space Lab. Retake on Space Lab, and again, this can be put out for every single other map, but most maps, you don't want to retake the same way you retake Space Lab. Space Lab is way different. Because there are so many damn chokes to sight on both sides, you want to retake with one person at every choke as often as you can. Because if you get multiple people on the same choke, it's already over. Because 1, crossfire. 2, it's basically they're gonna slap their nades on you. And 3, they can ink nade the choke as well. They can if they have one of your teammates win nades, they can use that as well. They have flipped the tables on you. But what does defense have over offense? They have the ability to go through multiple chokes. That's like the one defining feature of Space Lab in terms of offense and defense in terms of retake. Thankfully, your team actually does it well. The rotates just are mistimed. Because of where the enemy usually plays, they usually play up here if they have the space. The people who come from main right here need to be earlier. Small little tidbit. Because once this happens, people in main happen, then these two chokes can start to filter out. All right, another thing about Xinghui that people don't fully understand. Do not play her. Do not play. I think I mentioned this before already, early on in the VOD review, but do not play her like Xinghui. What people think of Xinghui. Do not play her like the healer. Do not play her like the support. Play her like the second Ming. Play her like an Aika. Play her like a Luin. Play her like you're behind the Ming and you're going to fight. Because remember, going for bomb plant usually is a throw. It usually is. You want to fight. You want to have your rifle out. You want to get the kills. This game is not based on bomb plant. I remember Heirer and Hoko. they do not like the way that EU plays. They play for bomb plant. Why is it throw? If defense knows what they're doing, and if they're there fast enough, they hear the bomb plant, they're going to go in. Why? Because bomb plant warrants fights. It warrants fights. And what does offense usually do to get onto site? They use their util, they use their abilities. So if you go for bomb plant early, that means that your util is down, your abilities are down on cooldown. You do not have the same firepower that you once did to get onto site to hold the bomb. Sometimes for EU it works, it's fine, but the EU does it so often that it's just like it's obvious. 2, it's counterable. That's the big part. It's very counterable. All right, this is another problem going through wind tunnel. If they play into this cheese spot right here where this Ricci is, this happens. You don't realize that the Ricci's there at all the entire time. You didn't realize. If you sent 2 people here, you would probably find him. And it's much harder for Ricci to fight at a close angle. It's not impossible, but it's harder than usual. So realistically speaking, so far, it's just a problem with pathing and knowing where to position and why to position there. Why you're positioning there in the first place. Nice crosshair, by the way. That's my old crosshair. I changed from it. I changed this dot crosshair that you're using, that Yuna's using, from cyan to white. No specific reason. Anyway, this is fine. This is fine that she's giving the space here. Usually you want to get like a nade out before any of this happens because you know that they're aggressing in the first place. You could probably throw an ink or a wind nade. Ideally, you throw a wind nade right there to stall for time. Let's actually talk about wind nades now because I forgot to actually mention that before. Why are wind nades strong on Space Lab right here? Why? It is the only nade that can fully deny a push. It's the only nade on this map. Ink nades cannot deny this push or any pushes. Any 5-man push, these things cannot deny it. Wind can. Why? Because there are ceilings. Low ceilings with certain lips to them that attackers cannot push any further if they get caught up in with it. Because if you wind nade here, if you wind nade like right here, if you wind nade like right here, here's something that will happen. Either one, the main cannot get through this because there is a lip right here. So she's just stalled right here. And additionally, because of that, she's free pickings. So you can just re-peek. You can re-peek this like so. And because usually she's on top of the ceiling here. And helpless. And you can re-peek this and try to go for the kill. The visual clutter from the wind nade will also help you with this peek. So that her team is a bit flabbergasted as to why their ming is dead. Same thing right here. This is a bit harder on the A site, but it's the same point because you can win nade here, you can win nade here. The second scenario is Ming goes very hard, passes the win nade timing, but guess who else is win naded? The rest of her team. 1 or 2 people might get through. So you it might be this, but guess who's here on a crossfire that can take care of it? Usually you'll see this. And her team cannot help her here because, again, they're wind naded. So in the short time that this wind nade goes out, these 3 people are versus these 2. And it's very normal to see these 2 just immediately just go kapoof. Or usually just one person. Again, everyone, wind nades, wind nades. Additionally, if you wanted to, you could do the exact same thing on mid. Wind nade this. Because doing that is going to isolate one person from the rest of their team. That's the thing about a Space Lab. Space Lab on attack is very heavy on coordination. Space Lab on defense is very heavy on individual play. And these wind nades are the reason why. Because wind nades can decide if the attackers get stalled or if they get to the site. Or additionally, if one person gets through said wind nade, it's on the defender's play on whether this pick goes out or not. Let's go back to the VOD. Let's see what the Fuchsia does here. Gets a nade out. I don't know if that was a nade. Yeah, nade out. Ming's a half HP. Wall's down. That Meredith ult's used way too early. Reason why? You have a wall. Yeah. Okay, attackers have a wall here. No reason to use Meredith ult. They just spam their ults like it's no tomorrow. Here's another thing about Jinghui that you don't want to be doing. You're using her like she is on her old version. For those who don't know, Jinghui didn't usually she doesn't give temp armor before. She never did that. Instead, she increased everyone's max armor and had a lot of shield healing, which is why she used to be meta, like hard meta. Jinghui is still hard meta. It's just she works differently, so people think she doesn't work anymore because she doesn't work the same way as she has before. Again, you play her like a second Ming. CM players played her like a second Ming even before the change. And this change with temp armor warrants that even further. Oh yeah, this is why you don't put the Meredith ult, by the way. This is why you don't put the Meredith ult. Your Nobunaga had an ult. Now the Meredith ult is working against them. The Meredith ult basically threw the round. Hard through. Because look at what's happening. If the Meredith falls, by the way, this Sand Tomb is going to go down. She is seen by the Michelle scan, but not to her team. But as you can see right now, how bad of a play that was. You already had a Ricci wall to plant on. You already had a Ricci wall to plant on. You already had a Ricci wall to push through. They had no reason to put that Mare default. They put it down anyway, without realizing that your Nobunaga had his. And because of that, they just died for it. They lost this round because of that Mare default. That Mare def threw really hard. Do not Mare default if you see a Nobunaga ult. Do not Mare def ult for plant. Don't do that. Because a Nobunaga ult can make the retake for defenders extremely easy. It is why on CN you'll usually see like, oh, who is going to pull the trigger? Is the Mare def going to pull the trigger to find a weird angle to make sure that Nobunaga can't ult safely? Or he can't ult in a really good place? Or will the Mare def actually put like the most standard ult of all time and then Nobunaga gets a free ult? Or maybe Nobunaga is going to use his ult to deny the Mare def ult in the first place. Who knows? Good pathing could be better. You could go through mid, drop behind them, make it a pinch instead of just doing that. What you did right here. Great nade though. Oh, I forgot you told me you're against Ariel here. If for those who don't know, Ariel Light is a Xinghui main. He played on the CN server quite a lot. I forget his peak. I think it's Masters, no? But yes, pathing could be better. You could drop behind them with the same nade that you just threw and get even more value. Again, it's a bit hard to tell because one, you don't see them if like, because usually people are going to play on this wall and you don't see them. And two, I can't remember two. Don't think about it too hard. Let's look at this now. They're playing a lot better. Flavia is no longer in the middle of your spawn. That's the main part. Ideally, Fusha should be just pushing up right now, right immediately towards this choke right here, all the way here. So idea here. Let me just show you now where people are going to start. Here, 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 and then anywhere in mid, because defenders just have mid for free, or sometimes you'll see people playing over right here, just looking for the cross, or looking for something else. But yeah, just look for early info. Mainly, it's these two that are gonna look for info, while the rest push up. But the point is, with the info, because of like how early you get your info, you can push up really far in. Very, very far in. Obviously, it's going to be different if you're in a lower elo. Your teammate will not always do that. So please plan accordingly. Please plan accordingly. If your team is not looking at these two main parts at all, do it yourself. Or ask them to. Ask them to play there. If your team has these two, play in one of the power positions. Probably not this one. Sometimes you'll even see like this. You see this sometimes. Because of how good mid is for a mini of the team. For a lot of mid. Or whatever. You get the idea. Mid's powerful. Use it. They're going to get mid again because they have no win nades. Interceptor, I believe, should be down here. If the attackers know what they're doing, they intercepted this and smoked it off. They have smoked it off. They have the Mare def. I see the smoke going down. They're using wind tunnel. This is a wind tunnel play, but this is a throw. If they have a, if your team has a win nade, this is a throw. Because if they win nade this at all, this Ming's alone. That doesn't happen. I don't think your team has win nades, and it just works out. Actually, it kind of works out. Kind of works out. Let's see what happens. Okay, you path better here. Nobunaga gets out and goes on the fish play. Fish 1-3. All right, this is one of those little things because, again, it's so hard for you to figure out if you actually need to use util or not. It's just so hard. You'll get used to it the more you play. I'm still getting used to it because it is legitimately that hard to figure out if you need to use your util or not. But if you're fighting for a choke, have your gun out first. Do not have your util out. If you're looking to push through something, do not use util first because usually they'll have an interceptor down for it. Usually. If it's like later in the round, if it's like after like a couple picks, if it's like a 3v3, if it's like a 2v2, then you can actually start using your nades because it's unlikely that they'll have an interceptor for you. But in a situation like this where it's insta retake, have your rifle out because you could have held your Nobu here, attack this guy, attack the Ricci. Also, by the way, just so you know, before you go in like this, slap all your Qs onto someone like this Fuchsia and then go in. Do not be behind this Fuchsia. Do not be behind this Fuchsia. You are the second Ming. You're basically defense Ming. Think about it that way. People are playing her wrong because they see healer and then they think I have to be behind everyone. She is unironically like Battle Mercy from Overwatch. She is the one that's on the front line. Think of her like Battle Xingwei and everything will work out. Reason why is because look who has like the same amount of health as like as a Ming. It's why Xingwei plus Ming is very strong because then you have essentially two Mings. And what's even stronger if you have a Galatea? Well, then again, she's not here, but this is why I'm the Galatea one trick. I'm gonna be saying it. If you have a Galatea, you have three Mings. you have essentially three Mings on your team. Good pick. They're just flowing out one by one. The pinch goes out. Nice job. They got baited, essentially. The enemy team got baited into pushing into you. Through the choke, mind you. And your Michelle, I believe, was up in arms about it and decided to pinch really fast. Great. Good job. Again, this is why you take this spot. Look how early you got that info. Look how early this... Obviously, the Fuchsia doesn't need to push up here. Look, like, fight for the space. Look at that. She's fighting for the space. Fights a little bit, pokes it out, backs up a little bit. Perfect. Because, I mean, you had to back up. It's 5 people. Backs up. Ideally, she throws a wind nade here. Ideally, she throws a wind nade. Ideally, she throws just a nade. Ideally, she throws a smoke and presses Q. And it gets even more damage. And then can leave. Even more ideally, you come and help her. you come and help her before this happens. Obviously, I know that you're looking for a play like onto the window here. Onto the window here. But in the case scenario that they do that, your team is coming from mid anyway. They can take care of that. You need to help this Fuchsia hold that line. All right, careful. This isn't ulted wall. This is round. This is a far in round, by the way. This is the final round. This wall is likely 1-3. Respect the wall. Bomb plant's going down. Look at your team. Look at where they're positioned. They're so ready for this retake. They're everywhere. What's going on? Ideally, you push the wall by this point. You see someone here. This is a 1-2 wall, isn't it? Ah, it's a 1-2 wall. They replaced this wall. Hard push. Okay, you know, that wall caught you off guard. That's fine. They used ult. They used their ult well, but they used their ults well, but ideally that's a 1-3 wall. You guys shouldn't be able to push this at all. All right, 3-5, not terrible. Not terrible at all for you guys. Let's keep going forward. Let's look at the picks. Your team, Fragrance Rush. This is a Fragrance Rush team. This is the epitome of ranked team. It's not terrible. It's not amazing, at least for in terms of competitive play or high elo specifically. But it's still really good. Ica, sleeper OP. I'm just gonna say that right now. Sleeper OP. But no one's gonna use her correctly. I only know one person that does use her correctly. I'm not gonna say who. And Fragrance, who just helps this team just be even more bursty. By the way, just so you know, Hoko and Harrier have done the calculations. Do not use the fire rate one whatsoever. It's always better to use move speed for Fragrance. What the hell are they doing? I mean, it's fine. This is fine. It's not terrible. But the reason why that this is not fine is now that Bear doesn't get value. Ideally, right here and then, they saw the info that they're going to be. This Yvette should be recalling her Bear immediately. But she doesn't. She just ices the area and then does it. Yeah, no, don't waste your time with that. Don't waste your time with that. If you wanted to, you could like ice and then hold the recall so the bear slams on ice and then recalls immediately. But again, recall as fast as soon as possible when you see people are rotating. Fuchsia gets the pick, I believe. That was the Fuchsia. You push over here. Okay, ideally what you want to do is push towards ramp, towards that Fuchsia. Because if you push towards this left side, you give the defenders a crap ton of space. Let's talk about fight lines. The reason why you go into here is because you change the fight line. The faster you are into there, the faster that this fight line happens. But because your team went all the way over here, most of your team went here, this is the fight line. You can see a world of difference if you guys fight for this space. Throw your interceptors down, throw your smokes, throw your nades, throw your Halloween knife in this area, and push it hard. Because if you got the jump on them, which it looks like you did, you can get a lot of space here. On Space Lab. Going for the revive, that's fine. But make sure when you're reviving people, use your camera to look around. You'll see if you I'm not gonna be streaming today. For probably will stream. Actually, I don't know. I'll stream probably later when this video uploads. But you'll see me often when I'm reviving someone. I'm just spamming my camera around like a weirdo. Like, it looks really bad for you guys, but I'm just staring at my mini-map to see if someone's there. Or if I hear someone. Alright, very early on the smoke. You guys can aggress even further up if you wanted to. Try not to push into ice like that. But ideally, you just go to site here. Because you push back. Look where you push back into. You're still in ice. That's 35% more damage to you from all sources. And because of that, you guys just fall like flies here. Look at your HPs. No Shingwei, you only have a fragrance to help you with regen now. And that's pretty slow. And because of that, they get the pinch off and take you out. On attack, you want to usually be able to get to site. Get to site, or as a mixed play, you did what you did, where you tried to go towards mid more. Which is completely fine. Completely fine, but there are problems with going to mid via that. All right, mid play this time. Good job smoking off that mid window. Ica ult in here. That Michelle should be dead. I'm surprised she's not. In fact, one of you guys goes down instead. Your Ming went down. Xingwei's on you. Flamethrower. Haha. Flamethrower is silly funny. I don't like flamethrower, by the way, just so you know. It's really annoying. Ica's still alive. She gets more 2v2 situation. Let's see what happens here. Hard push. Ideally, your team goes for the revives here. Nice. They see the revives, but they cannot push because they see an Ica in their face. That Q from Ica kind of wins the round, unironically. Why? It's a blue flame Ica. That's a blue Ica. Alright, surely you guys won this. Yeah, she left. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. Fight. Wait, no. Oh, dear God. Oh, my God. Nade doesn't kill. Oh, she's going to peek this. Oh, is this an ulted Fuchsia? Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, nice. Okay. It's not bad. That wasn't bad specifically. I could just need to know to like legitimately fight that, like really hard fight that. You gotta get your fight micro IQ. You gotta get it up. All right, you guys have 3 ultis. These are pretty hard to use ultis, except for the Ming one. But Luin, you need to know how to use it. Fragrance, you need to know how to use it. And fine move speed. Here's the thing that this is my pet peeve with Fragrance players. With rather unknowing Fragrance players. don't use your ability to start a round. Don't use it like that. You give your position out way too easily because the defenders can see the ability use plus the radius of it, and they'll just call it immediately. They'll call like the hit immediately, because that's usually when people are gonna hit anyway. So little thing there. I hated it so much because so many CM players did it, and I was like, why are you using your ability like this? When she released. Alright, that's what happens when you go through ice. Without sufficient smoke, without sufficient util. They're gonna look how fast your pinches. There's already a Shingwei over here. Look at this is a 3-way pinch. You guys gotta push somewhere. Where are you pushing? Where are you pushing? Where are you pushing? Push nowhere. Never mind. Where are you pushing, guys? You gotta realize you're in a pinch first before you can actually push. But yeah, you guys need to realize you're in a pinch, and then you gotta realize you need to push something. You gotta push something, if anything, as 5. Because remember, a pinch can be broken because of the fact that people on the pitch are alone. Anyway, I can't think. Ico lurking mid. You're just jump spotting the A player, which is normally the Kokona or the Audrey. Shot a little bit to try to get their attention. They're not in the Audrey range though, so it doesn't matter at that point. No reason to throw that nade. Hit 41 though. Ideally, what you do here is go with your team and then fight. Their team pushes out on the bear, but the bear is kind of scuffy. Well, it's one of the reasons why Yvette's hard to play, because one, Yvette has to be inactive while using bear, and two, I like sure you can go 1-3 on bear, so bear is autonomous, but at the same time, bear doesn't the AI doesn't know the optimal positions of where to use ice, so it's very give or take, which is why people from CN use 1-2 a lot on Yvette, because of the fact that it gets the ice down the fastest. It is not because of the fact that the bear, like, you know, just stops charging or stuff like that. It's just because you need the ice to go down really fast so Yvette can actually get in the fight. Oh, a little oofy peek. Your main goes up. Come on, Crossfire. Nice. Good Crossfire. Good push. You guys basically took the site of how you're supposed to take the site. This site, basically. Obviously, like, your team kind of did a weird thing where they went up the ramp and then, like, kind of went down the ramp and then went through mid and then, like, warranted a little bit of a fight, won the fight, and then went back up ramp. But ideally, you just go up ramp and just mollywop people. You had a pinch on the people playing here too. So if you guys coordinated fast enough, that would be really fast. The people that were playing on the very, very left side of site wouldn't be able to get to you guys fast enough for it. To help their team, rather. Again, flaw for the defense. No one's mid. Alright, I thought that Shigway was going wind tunnel. Not terrible, it just it was a little bit scary. Just don't go left side most of the time, because this stuff will happen where your Shingwei is, like, you know, can't cross because there's like a Kokona or something like that. It's just staring at her from the choke. And there's 3 people mid. Alright, they have control of mid for now. Perfect. Here's the thing. You don't have to rush, especially if you're only 3 people. If you're only 3 people and you have no Ico ult, nothing like that, it's completely fine. Ideally, you push the mid people. There's 3 people currently at the B choke. There's 2 people at the mid choke. You push this. You would be pushing this right now, actually. Use your ADS here, by the way. Use your ADS or shoulder fire. You should call them to push mid. In that situation specifically, you called to push mid. There were 2 people there, and it was a Yvette and a Coconut. They cannot fight a Ming. They cannot fight a Fragrance. They cannot fight a Xingwei. It is very easy to take that. They're doing the same play. Now they're putting their coconut right here. Yvette can't hold this. If you realize this, push A. Yvette knifed it. Not Yvette knifed this. Wait. Louise knifed this. Knife it hard. Don't mental block yourself with this ice. Not this time. You need the info about it, though. That's understandable. Yvette knifes this, so you have the info about it. Why am I saying Yvette knifing? Imagine if Yvette had a knife. Anyway. Good smoke. Get this. Ideally, you get the sight. Oh, that's not even smoke. What the hell? that's an aid. Get the sight. Get the pinch. Look at your Ica go. Get the kills. Oh, she dies immediately. But the damage has been done. Get through. Your main goes in as well. You get the follow-ups. Perfect. Get even more damage out. Get even more damage. Go in. Don't even go for bomb plant. Just hunt for the kills. Never mind. Go for the bomb plant. Because let them get the res. But it's fine. You have the crossfire, ideally. Good nade going out as well. Checking to see if people go through this little slit in the wall is also pretty good. But ideally, you set up a crossfire on that choke. Welcome to Space Lab, everyone. Home of the chokes. Land of the brave. Home of the chokes. Mega chokehold. Ooh, you just lost your ones there. But ideally, you keep pushing this. Even beforehand, your flaw was you had to keep pushing that really far in. Ideally, this Xingwei stalls for time, no? But yeah, literally just push in. All right. From what I understand, you lost this because this is final round. Yeah. Now that they figured out that you're respecting this too much, they're just not playing the coconut there. Coconut's realistic. Coconut and Michelle are the only ones that can realistically hold A. Realistically, because Yvette can't nade this, even if it's ice, because you're just gonna slap an interceptor down. And they don't have turrets, and Fuchsia can only get a pop scan off to do a couple bits of damage, and again. Sure, nade, but interceptor. So you go B, you get sniped. Again, this is a more high level thing of like rotating where the main people are. Ideally, you just slap another what's it called? Speed boost. But just so you know, go 1-2 on fragrance. Do not go 1-3. 1-3 is new bait. At least for right now, it's new bait. Why? Because you realistically only need it 3 times in the first place. So then they just hard hold, you lose. It is what it is. Just later on you'll figure this out just through like a lot of playtime. Look at that nade. Wow, that nade was great. That nade was really good. They're using nades like really well. You're the last one left. You can get your 1 here, but at this point it doesn't matter. But yes, that's Space Lab for you guys. Home of the chokes, land of the brave, home of the just push people. Just push them, kill people. Kill people. Remember in the description, check Hair and Hoko out. Really good players, really good coaches. In fact, they are. Wait, I don't think they're coaches, right? Wait, are they coaches? Let me just check. Just to make sure. Let's go to the right here. Let's go right here. Let's go to coaches. Let's go to coaches. Find a coach. Coach discussion. They're not coaches yet, but they're gonna be coaches. Wait. But anyway, yeah. I'm a coach, so again, if you need to find a coach, go to find a coach, create a like a post or something. I don't know, I forget how they do it, but yeah, find a coach. You'll get me. You'll probably get 9. Go to Speedy 9 as well. He's a cool player. He's a cool player. He likes to meow a lot. Anyway, I was just doing stuff. Bye.